So this idea here is you have the CC idea, and remember, I told you before, and I'll make a point to show you at the end, but just keep this easy. The idea of the 3 can be written or also seen as the scribe mark, or what you would notice as a 7, or think of as a 7. And also that goes into the 7th letter, or the G. The hanging G is the hanging 3. All right. Now, if I were to take the what I'm going to call the C on the left side, if I were to just on the horizontal plane turn that and then stick it underneath the one on the right, it would make what looks to you to be the 3. So you have the 1, the 2, the 3. Of course, the original CC being nothing more than a broken circle, or a 1. So you have the 1, 2 into the 3. Remember, I talked to you about the 2 being the house or the building, the temple. These are the temples, that ideas that you then believe in or are convinced of, and then that leads you into those then details, which are in the devil's in the details. And all you do to make the 8 is you would take 1C and plop it down to the bottom one, and then do a mirrored opposite, and you would have your snake eating your tail in the figure 8, which is nothing more than the idea of movement, or Chet, the big brother idea. All right. Now that's also thinking of the tent. More than a temple, this is where the temple is housed, man. This is that tent that hoaxer and Sandy Hoax talked about, this wonderful thing, this tent, this idea, because it's the idea of the one beyond the 7. Now the 7 is the idea of the Zayin, the idea of the mind, what goes in the mind, then which is referred to the Shabbat, all right, which is also the energy of concern, man. That's what concerns you, what then moves and motivates you to move into the 8s, into the details of whatever is concerning, whatever story that is. I wanted to go further though and just show you this. If I move it and then connect it again, all right. So then I took the 1, 1, and then the 4. All right. What's interesting about that is that alone, if I take 4, 1, and 1, 4, 5, 6 makes your 6. But also noticing that this is just nothing more than if you could push the center square back into your vision and then bring the two like goalposts up, I guess you can see it's nothing more than a covered square, like a canopy square. And of course a square being in the idea of the 3rd dimensional space, a cube, or 6-sided with 8 corners, that idea, right? So then if I place the plane in the center, right, the center plane, right, which is going to be the 6 plus the 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that creating a circuit, right? Then that then gets mirrored and opposite as well. So you have the 3 planes of existence that I've talked to you about in the past. So then that's going to be your 3 primary colors of vision, which is going to be your blue, red, and green. Remember, that's red, that's green, that's blue. The way you know that is if you go to edit colors, your blue must be 25500, okay? Not a shade of blue. Green is 255 green, 0 blue, 0 red. And of course red is 255 red, green, and blue are at 0, all right? Yellow would be your primary, or your first primary additive color. It'd be the 4th color. So then that right here, you can see you have to adjust this to make it a yellow, okay? That should be 255 red and green with 0 blue. Then you can then add that into your sections between of the yellowed idea, all right? Now to keep this easy, I'll assign a number value then to the shapes that you see. Going to be 3 6s there with the threes and then the fours. All right, so you see threes, sixes, and fours. Now remember what I told you about the three, the three being the idea of movement, you know, much like the eight, but in a different way. The three being the reward or punishment. Okay, it's what are you then getting out of it. This is going to be a lower level. This is going to be more of what's truly driving you. All right, the eight of concern, you can be concerned about something, but not really. You can pretend to be concerned. Now we're getting down to the three, the idea, the gamal, what you see as being good. You see as being a good work. All right. So then you see that then those three sixes, or the idea of the waters, the plains, the waters, are surrounded by the rings, and these three in this existence are the fourth primary. And somebody was saying I needed to get a guard for this mic, man. Yeah, well, sorry about that. Anyways, the three fours, and the reason I want to show you this is what's so interesting about this is that you see this is going to be the containment. This is going to be what's within your mind, right? Do you see outside here with the threes and the fours? That's going to be more of the spiritual. All right. So then let's add that up. Okay, so first you go down with the 18, then the 12s, then the 23s, which would be your wings, okay? What I was going to say over here on the right is that then you see at the center plane where the idea of, if I turn this sideways, and I have before on another video, that being the eyes, just the red and blue eyes, you're allowed then to come in. You see the negative light, man. All right, you see what I call the Easter egg, what's presented to you as being truth, and you run down those rabbit holes. You take that pill, right? That pill, the lie. All right. So, anyways, continuing with this, I'll just do it real quick. You have the 9, right? Oh, where you at? You have the 9 coming down. You have the 3. You have the 5. Now, interestingly about the 5, that's the time. That's time. Hey, bringing something into time. The breath, the life, and or without the breath of life is what? Death, right? So then, moving into 5 on the opposite side, and then, of course, that going into the 3 right there. Now, I've talked to you about the 3 already, right? Yeah. Okay, how about the 4? Remember I told you about the 4, because what I want to do here is now see then if I can build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the 1, 0, IO, return back to the 1. All larger numbers, of course, are just magnification or multiplication of the basic setup, because all numbers can be found in here, even what seemingly looks like the missing 7, and I'll show you where that's at. That going into the 25, so the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 25, leading into, of course, the 7 or the Zion. So you have the idea of the time and the idea of the temple bringing into time the idea, the concern, the deed, the 3. Of course, the 3 also being the 3, the G, the 7. Also looking at the idea of two things coming together. The fallen light, or the idea, the Zayin, the mind of the G. And the G is the 3, and in this instance, that would be your God, and that would be Lucifer, Isis, Satan, that idea of that fallen Trinity idea. All right? And so basically what this means is your God is the world, the world. That is who you worship. You worship the leaders of the world. You listen to what they say. You act as if they're war games and childish nonsense. is real and thus concerns you, and thus then you terrorize your own family. And you bring those demons in the room. Huh. Alright, so within the system you have the 1, the 2, the 3. You have the 4. Alright, you have the hey, the expression of time, the 5. Leading into your 6, the wall, the 3 planes of existence. Ultimately, then what? Leading into the idea of 7, which is the Zayn. That's your mind, man. It is the what you consider your blessing or your life's work. All right, that's it. It's anyways, moving past that, man, into the 8, or the idea of the Chet. Notice the 8 plus the 1 down here. It's going to move into the 9. The Chet being the back and forth, or the gateway. Now this is really something different. Now this is a bit, you're talking in the spiritual here above, because 6 into 7 you have what's called Ramsey's theorem, and or what I have notated here with these shadow marks, which is transformation from 6 into 7. So, and then you have transformation 7 into 8. All right, 6 into 7 is what's called Ramsey's theorem, or why what is called a pyramid has no top on it, thus making it actually an oblong cube. All right, they just don't know what words mean, and so then that missing then part, or that missing C or 3, is then the light, or the cap. Consider it a cap. Just do it just like this, like a little cap right here that just contains those 3. You know, pow pow. That's your little cap, and then you got the big G man sitting right there in the center. All right, and that's your God. All right, and that's the world. So that's your little ornament. All right. What have I missed? Oh well, the Tet, or the 9. The idea of the Tet or the 9 is this. You can see it right here. I shouldn't have to do this, but I will. All right. I'm going to take this and split it in half. All right. Right down the middle. Right. That's going to be one side, and then if I do that again, right? Sorry for taking so long. Then I just move that straight across, pow. That's going to be your 8, man. Do you see it? Do you see the 8? The devil in the details. The line out is the 9. The 69. Whoa. Whoops. Hold on. Let's get rid of that. Just do a straight line. 69. Into the time machine. Alright? I wouldn't put on them glasses. You can see they're all cockeyed, man. Don't put them on. Be free in Jesus Christ. And out of this system you go. You're given the Comforter, and you're given true life. You're given the true living water. And you know that this is all jibber jabber.